Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be all about the books I want to read before the year ends, which is basically like the rest of my year TBR, which my October TBR, not going so great, but that's okay. Well, you can see the wet spot. These are the books that I really want to get read this year. We'll see if that happens. I am noticing that it's very hard to get back into reading physical books. That's all I gotta say. If it's on my phone, I could probably read it quicker, but some of these books are books that I want to have in physical form. And I know some people don't mind buying things in physical form and having an ebook, but to me that seems like extra. That seems extra. I don't need that. So we're going to try really hard this year to read these books. So before we get into the books that I want to read for the rest of the year, I also just want to note that if you guys have any book recommendations for 2022, definitely leave them down below. I'm not really picky about the genre or the authors and things like that, so you can just leave those down below and I definitely will check them out. There are so many books that I want to read next year after discovering BookTube, and I'm super excited. I have a long list going on, and there are some books that I would want to get into right now, but I'm specifically waiting until next year so I can start off fresh and not feel rushed, because once the holidays come around, things get crazy, and then if I can't read and can't finish a series and I start liking a series, things get a little crazy. So definitely let me know what books you guys would recommend down in the comment section, and then let's get into the books that I want to read before this year ends. So I guess I can start with the books that I physically have already. Then I will go in with some books that I still want to purchase and read this year, or I'm hoping I can get to. Maybe I'll bite the bullet and get them as ebooks, but we'll see. So let's start first with the books that I have physically. The first book is Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus. I think I've mentioned this so many times so far on my channel, and I've literally only made 3 or 4 videos so far. So, as you can tell, I really want to read it. There's a bookmark in there because I read the first page. No. I read, what is that called? I read the foreword, the introduction. I read the introduction. So we are getting somewhere. There's a bookmark in it. I have attempted to start it, and we will. We will finish it. We will read it. We will enjoy it. We will love it. I have a feeling I'm really going to like it just by the introduction. So hopefully it goes well and I can actually finish this book. The next book is another book that I already started. It's When People Are Big and God Is Small. I've mentioned this one a few times already. I'm about a chapter in, but I've read the first chapter and I'm taking notes on it, so that's why it's taking me a little longer. But have I picked it up since then? No. So hopefully I get back into the groove and start reading this book. I think this book would be really helpful for me, especially right now in this phase of life. I'm really struggling right now with burnout, so this book could be a lifesaver. Learn to say no, learn to fear God, not people, all that fun stuff. So this is a book that I'm hoping to read by the end of the year, because I really do think it will be beneficial for me physically, spiritually, emotionally, everything. So the next book is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is more of a FOMO type book. Everyone keeps talking about it. Everyone keeps saying how great it is, and I don't want to be left out. I want to know why it's so great. So I'm hoping to get to this book sometime this year. This year is almost over, so hopefully soon. And I just want to know why everyone loves this book. And that's pretty much the reason why it's on this list, because I want to know why everyone loves it. The next book is Holier Than Thou by Jackie Hill Perry. If you don't know who Jackie Hill Perry is, then you are missing out in life. She is amazing. If you haven't read her other book, Gay Girl, Good God, it's an excellent book. It's more of her going through her life, just her journey to finding Christ and just living for him, and the struggles and all that stuff, the fun stuff, And then this is her book about holiness. And I am excited to get into it. My cousins and I are doing her other book, which is a Jude study, so that's great too. This is one that I really want to get done before the year ends, and that is my plan, and I think I can for sure get to this one. 2 books that I want to read. We have a theme here. They're all very, the physical books are very much more spiritual books, books that are going to help me with my relationship with God and just things like that. Sorry about that. I prefer to have those books physically because then I can write in them, underline, annotate them, all that jazz. So the next two books are about, Martha, Mary and Martha. You're either a Mary or you're a Martha, and I'm a Martha. So the first book is Having a Mary Heart in a Martha World, which is hard because I'm a Martha in a Martha world. So it's finding intimacy with God in the busyness of life. And yeah, so I want to get through this book and also this other book that I found, and it's called Made Like Martha, Good News for the Woman Who Gets Things Done. I'm excited to read this one. I want to read this one first and then go into Made Like Martha. I don't know, something in me is just telling me to read it like that, so that is my plan. The next book is Undaunted by Christine Caine. If you don't know who Christine Caine is, then you're once again missing out. She is an amazing speaker. I've heard a few of her sermons. They're great. She actually does these sometimes like little free things. They're like videos or like 5-day challenges, things like that. She actually has one coming up on the 25th. So I will leave a link to that down below. So if you want to join, you can do it. It's free. Yeah, I just think that, she does good. I haven't read any of her books, so I don't know how she is as an author. But hearing her speak, she is amazing. So I can only imagine. This is just her story. So I'm excited to read about her story. The next book I have is Outdated. Find Love That Lasts When Dating Has Changed. It's by Jonathan Pokluda, JP. He used to be on the porch and now has a podcast called Becoming Something. I think he's great too. My cousins and I just went to the Awaken conference in Texas, hosted by the porch, and it was great. We had a great time. Everything was great. If you go to their podcast, I'm pretty sure you can hear all the messages from that day or from that weekend. So definitely go and listen to that. I'll leave a link down below because those were some really good messages. And JP gave one of the last messages and he was really good. If you haven't listened to him preach before, you are missing out, because he is an amazing preacher. He's very straightforward. There's no confusion with him. And I really like that. So I'm hoping I enjoy this book. This is actually my cousin's book or sister's book. I don't know. I borrowed this book from someone. So they're going to want it back. So I need to read it. Another book I want to finish reading because I started it is Judy Blume's Summer Sisters. I started this and I actually got a little bit into it, but I have not yet finished it. So I'd like to finish it, because then I'll have to start it all over again because I'll forget. So those are the books that I have physically that I would like to finish if I started them or finish this year. Some books that I would like to read that I do not own yet is Stop Calling Me Beautiful, Finding Soul Deep Strength in a Skin Deep World by Felicia Masonheimer. Hopefully I said her name right. She posts a lot on Instagram and has a website, podcast, all that jazz. She focuses a lot on women specifically knowing God's word and studying God's word for yourself and just digging deep. So I really enjoy that. Another book I want to read, two other books that I want to read because I've just heard about them and heard that they were good, is To Hell with the Hustle, Reclaiming Your Life in an Overspent and Overconnected World by Jefferson, I'm going to screw up his name, Beth. And Get Out of Your Head, Stopping the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts by Jenny Allen. She was also at the Awaken conference and was amazing. So just would like to read her book. Another book that I would like to read is by Ben Stewart, which is called Single, Dating, Engaged, Married, Navigating Life and Love in the Modern World, I believe. In the modern age. A lot of these books are books by people that I've heard speak from podcasts, different things like that. A lot of these books that I do want to finish reading are books specifically to help me in my Christian walk. Not every book that I would like to read is a Christian book, but a lot of them that I would like to finish reading this year are, just because, I just feel like it's very necessary. Another book I would like to read is Cold Case Christianity. A homicide detective investigates the claims of the gospel, and this is by J. Warner Wallace. Someone had recommended this book to me a couple of years ago now, and I have yet to read it, so I want to hopefully read it this year. there was another book I actually put on my Christmas list. So this book I might not get to this year, but it's called Fault Lines: The Social Justice Movement and Evangelicalism's Looming Catastrophe. So that one sounded pretty good. Trying to think if there's any more that... There are some fun books that I would like to read. I have some, free ebooks that I have on my list that I would like to read, but that's a different topic. Most of the books that I would like to get done for the end of the year are, like I said, spiritual books, because that's what I have on hand right now, and I just would like to get them read. I just feel like that's where I'm at right now, kind of the genre I want to be reading, but I haven't really read yet. That is my plan for right now. Things could change and I can end up not reading any of these books, and but I do want to do a book. I do want to do a video going through all the book series I want to read in 2022, because after watching all these booktubers and just discovering booktube, like, there are so many books out there and I've lost touch on books and series and things. So there are a ton of series and books that I want to read in the new year. So yeah, so if you have recommendations for books and series, they don't have to be spiritual books or Christian books either, by Christian authors. Just leave your book recommendations down below and I would definitely add it to my list for that video too, because I definitely want to know what you guys are interested in reading, and that way we can talk about it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Definitely let me know what is on your TBR for the rest of this year, and if you think you're actually going to finish that, or if you're going to actually finish reading those books. I would love to know. I would like to know I'm not the only one that wants to do things but doesn't end up doing it. That would be great. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I will see you guys in my next video.